Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we're going to talk about Python learning. I've already covered some topics from the Learn Python org. These are the couple of topics which we've already covered. If you haven't checked those out, you can go to GitHub repository and you can take a look at the files that we've added over there. So in a way it is the learning journey which I'm capturing for the Python, meaning that I'll be learning along with you all, and then if you have any feedback you can feel free to drop a comment. And without talking too much, let's get started. Okay, so first thing first, I would like to learn about, let's say, functions. So these are the topics which I've already covered. So today I want to try functions. So gonna command click on it and open it in a new tab. So I'm just going through the different sections over here, and over here it explains how do you write a function in the Python language. So basically you give a name, and then right after that you provide indent and the number of statements that you want to add, as far as I understand, but correct me if I'm wrong. And then over here we add necessary statements for that function. Here is the example. So define or definition of a function, and then in that we have the statements which are part of the function. Amazing. So it basically starts with def, means defined. Nice. Over here we have this function, and in that you can see it takes two parameters, right? So you don't explicitly specify the type of the parameter. It would be interesting, what if I supply integer value over here? I'm sure it's gonna fail because it's treating it as a string over here, right? So over here, let's take a look at another example. It says sum two numbers, and it's gonna just add the value and return. So this is how you return a value. This is how you supply a value to a function. Okay, passed from the caller function. Now it doesn't say is it passed by value or passed by reference. So I'm not sure, but yeah, okay, pass by value, pass by reference are some advanced concepts. I know other programming languages, so let's just skip that part for now. Okay, next, how do you call a function in a Python? So we have defined a function over here. We are supplying the parameters over here. Just like that, we are also supplying and returning the value over here. And then over here, we are calling those functions. So instead of going through all of this, I'm just gonna copy the last one that we have over here, and then we're gonna try the exercise as well right after this one. So just gonna hit the command A, copy. Let's go back to VS Code over here, and in that we can add a new file. Let's call it 10 functions. And oh, I forgot to add the extension, so hit the rename and add the extension over here. With that, we have the file right over here, and in here we have the code which we copied from over there. But how do we run this? So I've already taken care of it. I have added necessary extensions of Python. So you just, let's say in your case, if it's not there, so make sure that you have it over there. So I have a number of extensions installed, and out of which I believe, wow, I've installed so many of them, 36. So let's take a look at the Python one. So Python indent is the one, I guess, or autopap 8 is also you can install. Hold on a second. So yeah, so these are like the extensions which I've installed, which comes in a pack, and again it's from Microsoft. So you just hit the Python, and then once you have the extension, it would also install a bunch of necessary extensions along with that if needed. I guess Python debugger is the one I installed manually apart from this, but anyway, so this is the one that you would need. Okay, and if you want, you can go ahead and install this as well, and you can also like quickly go through this and understand what are the features that they have to offer. Okay, so with that, now let's go back to the file which we were looking at. So let's just right click on it. So once you have the extensions installed properly, you would see this new menu item on pop-up which would say run Python file in terminal. So the moment I click on it, you can see that the file was executed over here. So instead of this hello from this, I'm gonna change this to hello world, and over here hello underscore world. The name of the function I have updated, so that I'll have to update this as well. Okay, So my function with arguments. So instead of that, let's just rename it to let's say greetings, and let's use this function. Instead of John Doe, let me put Sagar Kothari over here. I can get rid of the comment. So in Python, if you want to add a comment, it would start with #. All right. Now, okay, interesting. Right click and run Python, and then you can see the updated output over here. Right, so one more thing which I wanted to try is, like, what if I supply the integers over here? I want to see this. So I'm going to pass 1 and 2 over here, because you can see the moment I start typing, it says any. It means, you can simply send anything over there. So 1 and 2. Now if I try to run, I'm sure it's going to break. I don't know, okay? So I'm not a Python expert here. Learning Python along with you. It's a kind of a noob just like you. Let's see. Interesting, it didn't crash. Okay, because it was any, I believe it treated that variable as a string, and then it printed 1 and 2. Nice. So it does work. So at first I thought it may break, but it didn't break because it took it as any object or anything, and anything can be printed as a string, I believe. So yes, it worked. Okay, over here, yes, I know that I can see. Let me give you an example. Print, and then over here, what I'm trying to do here is call this function with 2 different strings. Let's try weird things. Okay, so some 2 numbers, and I'm gonna say Sagar and say, let's say Python, and let's see how it goes. Okay, right click and run it, and you can see Sagar Python over here. So it is joining or concatenating 2 strings over here. Okay, so it is working, not breaking. Good. At least it's not throwing compile time errors. Nice. So we have done this. What is the exercise over here? So it says add a function named list benefits that returns the following list of strings. Okay, so these are list of benefits, and then add a function named this which receives a single argument containing a string and returns a sentence starting with the given string and ending with is a benefit of a function. Okay, all right. So basically what we can do is, I'm just gonna copy this list of strings over here, put it right over here. All right, and then let's just submit the code right over here. Okay, build the sentence. Oh, I see, you just have to join the benefits. Is that what we are supposed to do, or what? Oh yeah, we have to print it. Maybe, I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm going to just put it over here. So it says modify this function to concatenate to each. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. All right, so I'm going to just copy this. My bad, I didn't read this earlier. Even though I may have read, I didn't understand it fully. So whatever benefit that we are supplying over here, we have to join it. So how do we do that? Benefit, right? So whatever benefit we have over here, plus then space. Okay, so which we already copied. Nice. Okay, so now we have defined the function, and then it's gonna build a statement, and then it's gonna print. Let's see. Yes, more organized code is a benefit of functions. More readable code is a benefit of functions. Easier code reuse is a benefit of functions. Nice. So we are basically printing the benefits of defining a function. It is more readable. Nice. So with this, we have completed the functions section. Of course, it's not full, but at least from Learn Python's the function chapter wise we are done. We have completed exercise as well. So the exercise that we have done, I'm going to copy this and then put it inside over here as well. So file number 11 and functions2.py. Let's put it right over here, and so that we don't miss it. And I'm going to make this repository public so that all of you can understand. So yeah, today we have covered Python functions. So together we have learned how to, number 1, define a function, add statements inside a function, how to supply parameters to a function, and how do you return a value from a function, and how to execute those functions by supplying the parameters. So this is something that we have covered, and in the next file we did an exercise in which one of the function was returning an array, other function was taking one parameter and doing a string operation on it, and then there was third function which was basically printing all of the elements which were in the array one by one, and then at the end we executed functions which were calling other functions. So over here you can see this function is calling list benefits, and over here within the loop, it's calling another function over here. So that's something we have done. Now for you, what is the exercise? So instead of printing it right over here, how about we return a full string from this function, and then this basically function should return that value, and we should be able to store it in a value. For example, final string over here, and then if I say print and final string, it should do that. So that's your exercise for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. See you in the next one. Bye bye.